avoid sleep if you... I'm trying to put it to good use. We hot enough to want to learn more. I'll show you what I can. Go see what the vampires were looking for in this dim hollow crypt. Within a... They'll still be there.
Isran found... for you to do. Brilliant.
Who sent you here? I was expecting someone... like me, at least. Can't you tell just from looking at me? A vampire. But if you want to know the whole story, help me get back to my family's home. My family... By the way, my name is Serana. Good to meet you. Your guess is as good as mine. This place looks pretty different from when I was locked away. to breathe. Even in this weather, it's better than the cave.
They can't hurt Uncle Rogvir. Tell them he didn't do it.
From the castle, you used to just be able to see Solitude over the mountains. It's exactly what I'd imagined. I'd read stories about the Solitude windmill, but I didn't expect it to be that big. Okay, so before we go in there, I wanted to thank you for getting me this far. But after we get in there, I'm going... I think... I know your friends would probably want to kill everything in here. I'm hoping you can show some more control than that. Once we're inside, just keep quiet for a bit. Let me take the lead.
Lady Serrana's back. Open the gate.
Let's get indoors. In a cave.
How dare you trespass here? Wait, Serrana? Is that truly you? I cannot believe my eyes. My lord, everyone! Serrana has returned.
I guess unexpected.
I can't believe it. My long-lost daughter returns at last. I trust you have my Elder Scroll.
After all these years, that's the first thing you ask me? Yes, I have the scroll.
Of course,
She has
I'm
the scroll.
delighted to see you, my daughter. Must I really say the words aloud? Ah, if only your traitor mother were here. I would let her watch the stranger you have brought into our hall.
This is my savior, the one who freed me.
For my daughter's safe return, you have my gratitude. Tell me, what is your name? I am Harkon, Lord of this court. By now, my daughter will have told you what we are. Perhaps for centuries we lived here, far from the cares of the world. All that ended when my wife betrayed me and stole away that which I valued most. You have done. There is but one gift I can give. I offer you my blood. Take it and you will walk as a lion among sheep. Then you will be Perhaps you still need convincing. Behold the power! This is the power that I offer. Now, make your choice. Be still. Awake at last. The power is growing within you, and now you must learn to wield it. With my guidance, you will become... Now listen to my words, and do as I instruct. The true power of the ancient blood is found in the form of the Vampire Lord. Assume the mantle of the Lord, and we will continue. Transform our Lord, and I will teach you more. I have, in this form, you can drain the life from your foes with your right hand. With your left hand, you can wield the power of magic to raise the dead. You can also call upon turn into a swarm of bats, reappear Magicka, you can descend to the ground, fight as the beast. Do so now, and we will continue. Cease your flight, and we will move on to the next lesson. Land on the ground, and I will have more to teach you. Good. You are weaker while on the ground, because you cannot access the blood magic. However, the night powers are still yours to command, and your claws are still full. Over time, your powers will grow in strength, and you will find new ways to use your gifts. There is much to learn, but if you master the powers of the Vampire Lord, few enemies will be able to stand against you. There is one last thing you must know. Slaying mortal men with your life drain grants you new night powers and blood. Keep a stable of thralls in the castle should you need to feed like the baser vampires to stave off the sun. That is all I have to teach you. If you wish to be reminded of these lessons, you need only ask. I have a task that will test your new powers. But first, do you have any questions? Good. Go and speak to Garen Marethi. Tell him it is time. He will understand.
Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle. Not even you.
Without the royal blood flowing through you, you're one step away from the rest of the thralls.
You'd best find him.
You seem to have lost
Ask him to change your
Walking
mind.
around here like that.
I suggest you tell him at once.
Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the
To
castle.
make you one of us again.
Not even you. Find Lord Harkon at once, and ask him to please correct the situation.
Without the royal blood flowing through you, you're one step away from the rest of the thralls. You disrespect Lord Harkon by walking around here like that. Go see him at once, else you might find yourself in a cage.
Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle. Not even you. Find Lord Harkon at once, and ask him to please correct the situation. Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle. No- even you. Find Lord Harkon at once, and ask him to please correct the situation. Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle, not even you. Find Lord Harkon at once, and ask him to please correct the situation. Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle, not even you. Find Lord Harkon at once, and ask him to please correct the situation. Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle, not even you. Find Lord Harkon at once, and ask him to please correct the situation. Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle, not even you. Find Lord Harkon at once, and ask him to please correct the situation.
You seem to have lost the gift that Lord Harkon gave you.
You would
I
dare
suggest
show
you
up
tell
here
him
and become immortal, abandoning all
Hopefully
the
he'll
Lord
be
Harkon
gracious
has
enough
granted
to make you one of
You'd
us
best
again.
find him soon. Ask him to change you back.
Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle, not even you. Find Lord Harkon at once, and ask him to please correct the situation. Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle, not even you. Find Lord Harkon at once, and ask him to please correct the situation.
You would dare show up here after becoming mortal, abandoning all that Lord Harkon has granted you. You'd best find him soon. Ask him to change you back.
Bring him, please.
You have earned my trust, so I will share what I can. Sarah, who took my beloved daughter away from me. You have earned my trust, so I will share what I can. Her name was... What else do you want to know? Very well. With each feed upon those, when you first descend to the ground and you can attack with your claws, and with experience your powers will grow and you will discover new ways to use them.
Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle, not even you. Find Lord Harkon at once. Ask him to please correct the situation.
I knew I
Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle. Not even you. Find Lord Harkin.
Oh, what is it?
I'll look the other way this time.
With each feed upon those. You have earned my trust, so I will share what I can. Very well.
Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle. Not even you. Find Lord Harkin at once.
You've given up the powers granted to you? Get away from me. You would be seen talking to you.
Without the royal blood flowing through you, you're one step
You're a
away
fool to have become mortal again. I want nothing to do with you.
disrespect Lord Harkin by walking around here like that. Go see him at once.
You're mortal! What are you doing here like that? Go to Lord Harkin at once. Beg him to turn you back. You're dead if you don't.
Mortal? What are you doing here like that?
Quite bold to return here as a
You must
mortal.
get away. If I'm seen
Some
talking to you,
will
they'll
take
blame me.
offense. You really ought to become one of us again. Bad
Mortals aren't allowed to freely roam the castle. Not even you. Find Lord Harkin.
When you first to say, with experience, your powers will grow, and you will. You have earned my trust, Sarana. I command. In my heart, I know. If I. What else do you want to know? Her name was. I will say. What else do you want to know? Very well.
Mortal aren't allowed to freely roam the castle. Not even you. Find Lord Harkin at once. And ask him to please. Correct the situation.